Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Cliff. My name is Cliff Duvenois, and these are the stories that chronicle my journey to get 1% better every single day across the areas of mind, body, business, and relationship. Today's story is called The Status Quo versus Innovation. I was bored out of my skull. Here I am, an engineer working at GM. Every few weeks, I'd have to spend at least 2 days running tests and collecting tons of data. Then I would take that data, bring it into Excel, and then the next step was to take all of that data and start turning it into 20, 30 different charts and graphs. It was tedious, it was repetitious, it was time consuming, and it would burn an entire day of me doing this just to create all of these charts. And when I was done, I knew full well that in less than 2 weeks, I would have to do it once again. One evening, I was watching a show. There's an advertisement talking about the huge volcano that sits underneath Yellowstone National Park, something I did not know. Now, I've always had an interest and fascination in volcanoes, so I decided, what the heck, I will go ahead and I will watch this one. And they were talking about how scientists take all of these different measurements from around Yellowstone Park, they collect tons of data, and then they take all that data, bring it into Excel, and they plot charts and graphs. But they didn't do it. The computer did it. One of the scientists points to the computer and says, once we collect data, we use Excel macros, ... I never heard of Excel macros before. Well, this is how Excel macros actually work. So when you're inside of Microsoft Excel, you hit the record button, and wherever you click on the screen, Excel remembers where you clicked or what you clicked. And from there, you can actually automate a bunch of actions. So you could record 1, 2, 5, 10, 100 different actions in a single macro. So then I thought, gee, can I use this in my job? Well, I did. And the next time I ran the test and I put the data inside of the computer, I just hit a little key on my keyboard. Excel magically came to life all on its own. It formatted the data, generated the graphs, and printed them out. Effectively, I took about 6 to 7 hours worth of work and I reduced it to 30 minutes. One time I remember I started the macro and I turned to start doing some other work and make some phone calls. And then I noticed everything got quiet. And when I turned around and looked, there was a group of engineers that were just staring at my computer as it was just clicking madly and generating graphs and printing out graphs. They were speechless. A few of them did what I did when running tests and collecting data, and I offered to show them what it was that I was doing. No thank you, not interested. Well, that shocked me. I mean, how could you not want to innovate? Well, I found an article on Forbes that actually lists several traits of innovators. Innovators embrace change. Innovators embrace diversity. Innovators always innovate. But innovate always includes change. It involves looking at a problem and looking at the world in a different light from a different angle. I'm rewatching From the Earth to the Moon, the story of how NASA landed on the moon. And I'm starting to think about all the policies and procedures and checklists that were needed to create such a stupendous feat. And then I asked myself, I wonder if this is something that I could apply to my real estate business. And from that, the documented approach was born because I just didn't want a result for my clients. I wanted an engineered result designed to achieve a superior outcome. From this innovation, I found this quote by American writer Max Dupree, and he said, "We cannot become what we want to be by remaining what we are." Nothing new ever came from the status quo. This has been Coffee with Cliff. Thank you for listening.